The Reem headlines the UFC's return to Washington, D.C., a UFC debut on the same card. Colorado Knockmoys head to Arizona, and some big matchup announcements. This is your Colorado MMA News Weekend Preview. The UFC returns to Washington, D.C. this weekend, and Alistair Overeem of Elevation Fight Team will be the featured bout in the main event when he faces Jairzinho Rozenstruik on relatively short notice. The 9-0 Rozenstruik will be fighting in one of the biggest bouts of his career against the former Strikeforce champion, Alistair Overeem. Overeem is 45-17 as a professional and is working his way back towards #1 contender status and a title shot. In an interesting note, Overeem holds the highest UFC significant strike accuracy of all time across all weight divisions among fighters with at least 5 UFC bouts and 350 significant strike attempts. He has landed 73.8% of his attempts. Watch for Alistair to utilize his pinpoint striking on Saturday night. Also featured on the card will be Mallory Martin, who is making her UFC debut on the prelims portion of the lineup. The 6-2 Martin trains with Zingano BJJ and Elevation Fight Team and will be looking to make it 6 wins in a row when she takes on the Brazilian Fernanda Jandiroba, 14-1. You can stream the fights live on ESPN+, with the prelims starting at 3:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time and the main card starting at 7 p.m. In local MMA action, Jacoby Jones, 3-1, training with Jackson's MMA Colorado, will head to Nebraska for the Dynasty Combat Sports Seasons Beatings 2019 event, going down Friday, December 6th. Jones will be looking to pick up his 4th win in a quick turnaround while bouncing back from the first loss of his career his last time out. In Muay Thai news, Colorado Knockmoys will head down to Phoenix, Arizona this weekend, joining Muay Thai fighters from across the country flocking to the state to fight for their right to be called USMTO Southwest champions. Local fighters from both Easton Muay Thai and Genesis Fight Team will be making the trip. Participants competing in the tournament include, from Easton Muay Thai, Jack Lavelle, Jennifer Asika, Mari Nishida, Bryden Christensen, the Prize Fighting Business Episode 5 guest, Connor Owens, Episode 10 guest, Chino Dean, and our very own host, Daniel Casado. The team will be led by Easton Muay Thai head coach and Elevation Fight Team striking coach, Sean Madden. Fighters participating from Genesis Fight Team include Gemma Breslin and our Episode 16 guest, Mike Schultz. Best of skill to all of the fighters. In other local fight news, Elevation Fight Team has added another UFC fighter to their group as flyweight Shanna Dobson has decided to move to Denver to join the elite fighters that make up the Elevation Fight Team training room. Keep an eye out for her next fight to be announced. In new matchup announcements, the news broke this past week that Holly Holm will rematch Raquel Pennington of Pound for Pound Fitness in a clash of ranked bantamweights. Pennington will join fellow Colorado fighter Drew Dober of Elevation Fight Team on the UFC 246 card, which will be headlined by Donald Cerrone and Conor McGregor. Holm and Pennington were initially booked for UFC 243 in October, but Holm had to withdraw due to an injury. The bout is a rematch of Holm's UFC debut, where she beat Pennington by split decision at UFC 184. Pennington, 10-7, most recently defeated Irene Aldana by split decision at UFC San Antonio in July, and is currently the number 7 ranked women's bantamweight fighter heading into the bout, and Holm is ranked number 6. The Colorado native, Pennington, has won 5 of her last 7 fights overall. In what is expected to be a barn burner, Brandon Girtz announced his next opponent for Bellator 239. He will face UFC veteran Miles Jury, 16-8, in a lightweight war. Girtz is 16-8 overall, coming into the bout following a unanimous decision win over Saad Awad his last time out. Additionally, Jose Chepe Machine Gun Mariscal announced that he will be the LFA main event on an upcoming card in the new year. Stay tuned and we will keep you posted with updates as more information comes out. Lastly, Denver MMA pioneer, former Strikeforce and Pancrase middleweight champion, Nate the Great Mark Hoare, announced that he will make his return to fighting. Nate has been helping Ian Heinisch get ready for Heinisch's next UFC performance, and he told MMA Junkie in an interview, quote, "Well, it's kind of a crazy story, man, but I had a dream. God spoke to me, and he confirmed it later in the week by 2 people I've never met before and 1 friend as well, that basically I'd be fighting again." End quote. So keep an eye out for his opponent and return date to be announced. And that's your Colorado MMA News Weekend Preview. Go give the fighters a follow and check back early next week for more local MMA news and our weekend wrap-up. In the meantime, please consider supporting our programming by becoming a patron on patreon.com/TPFB. Go subscribe to our YouTube channel to be alerted about new content. Follow us on Instagram @Colorado MMA News, and don't forget to like us on Facebook. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm your host, Corey Mannion.